Hey there everyone, Captain Beards here, bringing you another Langrisser mobile video. Let's get it. Alright guys, so you just got yourself a LANFORD, right? Now, this guy is extremely complicated, and by that I kind of mean like difficult to use if you're in my predicament. If you're in a certain predicament, then he's actually not too bad to use, and he's a straightforward unit. I don't think he's better than Listel. I'm just gonna say that right from the start here. Starting just believe you me, I think Listel is just better all the way around. So if you did not pull Listel on the banner, I think she is much more worth it than getting LANFORD. Don't get me wrong, I'll take the unit, I'll try him out some more and really play with him to see if he has more potential, but I feel like it's a little bit much to really build upon him. All right, so anyways guys, so as you can see, I took him down the blue path. He's in two factions, one being the Strategic Masters and the other one being the Yellis Warriors, now our Yellis Legends, my bad. So the thing about the factions that he's in, they're good, but they're very rune hoggish, right? For instance, Leon it's best to invest all his slots open. Sephiroth, same thing. LANFORD especially, and then yeah, we're not going to talk about these two. And then Luna, you can get away with opening her one path, but if you're like me, you want to open two paths. She brings a little bit more potential to the table. And then you got Varg, we could go one path with him too. Amilda, she's a crazy rune hog, but it's worth it. She is definitely worth the investment. So the team is going to be very strong once you have a lot of runes to spare. Other than that, let's take a look. I'm going to go over a couple different ways to build him and just try to give you guys the best way depending on your situation. So let's go into the upgrade class section first. Alright, so he has really three sections here. The first two are his main ones, which is Sword Saint and Nightmaster. The Dragon Knight is just that kind of extra path to give him that flying ability, which is not bad. I'm taking nothing from it. It's going to give him nice little mobility here. The defense break is pretty good. I would say don't even go for it though. If I'm being honest with you guys, stay away from the Dragon Knight path just because it's just a waste of a rune, if I'm being honest with you guys. The path you're pretty much going to go for if you do not have Altamuller, Sephiroth, is going to be straight towards the Nightmaster. So this is going to be the general path that everybody's going to be taking. Reason why I say this is because it's going to give you the Ace Tactics, which is Strategic Master buff. But let's go over the beginning first, to the buffs first. So if you go Swordsman, you're going to get Roar, which is one of Elwyn's moves here. Attack single enemy, dealing 1.3 times damage before battle. Dispels 2 enemy buffs and decreases their attack and in by 20% last one turn. Great support move, great move for PvP. I always say that. I said that on Elwyn's guide too, that Roar is an excellent PvP move just because it dispels 2 enemy buffs. And that's before battle, so that's freaking awesome. So that way if they do have a defense buff and an attack buff, you can strip that right off and then attack, which is super clean. And then let's see his Highlander, which he's going to get Endure. When entering battle, defense increases by 7%. It's pretty good, but nothing too crazy there. I mean, it is a one cost, so it's not too bad. Alright, and then a popular path for him, which is Sword Saint. Alright, he's getting Mind's Eye, crit increased by 15%. After landing a critical hit in battle, the enemy's passive skills are disabled last 2 turns. This is really good, especially for units that have extremely strong passives. I believe like Frey with her barbs, Varg. I believe Varg has one too. I'm thinking if Heavy Shield counts as a passive. I believe it does. Freya has it too. Yeah, Heavy Shield is a passive, so if he hits Varg, so if you take him down the red path, he can be Varg and Freya's nightmare, because Mind's Eye, he goes and hits Mind's Eye, and if he lands a critical hit, which increases crit by 15%, the enemy's passive skills are disabled. So it's not one passive skill, it's all the passive skills on the enemy. So that's an extremely strong move in itself, and I wouldn't count that out. It's only a 1 cost. Now the move that's going to be his hardest hitting move is going to be Chain Lightning. Attacks a single enemy dealing 1.4 times damage. Crit increased by 20%. If the skill kills an enemy, its cooldown is reduced by 4, so pretty much refreshes itself. Deals fixed damage before the unit attacks. When landing a critical hit, the skill deals fixed damage again. Damage is equal to 1 times hero's attack. So if you are running this move, you're going to want to make sure that you hit an enemy with it that you know you're going to kill. And if it doesn't kill, it's going to deal fixed damage regardless, so that has a chance for it to kill too, which is really nice, and it's 1 times hero's attack, so definitely building him the attack route. So I got this guy completely all wrong when I seen his chart. I thought you're going to want to take him straight to the Nightmaster, but if you do go Sword Saint, it's extremely strong there as well. Now for you guys that don't want to go Nightmaster and want to go straight to your Sword Saint and don't want to invest the runes, in order to really do that, one of two things have to happen. One, you have to have Altamuller, right? You're gonna have to have Altamuller. You're gonna have to have his Strategic Master buff, which I currently do not, right? So that's one thing to understand. And two, if you do not have Altamuller and you do not have the Strategic Master buff, you're gonna have to open up the Nightmaster path just to get the Strategic Master buff to go back to the Sword Saint. Now, me personally, that's what I'm going to be doing. When I do get the runes, I am going to be going back to the Sword Saint path, just because I feel like Chain Lightning is a much better thing for him. But I'm going to take my runes and invest in Altamuller first to get his Strategic Master buff, because I do feel like it's a little bit better. So let's look at the Nightmaster here. So you got the Strategic Master buff. Now, this buff is pretty good. I know there's a couple problems with it, which I'll go over in a second. Greatly boosts, excuse me, jeez. Greatly boosts attack and defense of all Strategic Masters allies within range. If the caster is a mixed unit, the hero and soldier are of different type. Damage dealt is increased by 15%. This effect lasts for 4 turns. Pretty good. The problem I see with this, especially with him, is if you do bring him the Nightmaster route like I did, especially for that Strategic Master buff. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is that if you do not have Altamuller, then you have to bring him pretty much towards the Nightmaster route to pick up the Strategic Master buff, just because running the faction buff is worth it in itself. So that's something to understand, guys. And two, that frees up Leon. So if you have Leon, you don't want to run Leon with the fusion power buff. You can go ahead and run his fusion power buff and have your Leon just be the hard hitter, and he'll just be a nice little good support unit slash hitting unit himself. So nothing too crazy there. He does pick up Chivalry, which is really nice. It allows you to move and gain attack. You gain 30% attack, and when attacking, if a unit HP is above 80%, defense and magic defense increased by 30% before battle. After taking action, restores 20% of your unit's HP last 2 turns. So it's a really good move. Leon has a move too, so I definitely recommend. The setup for this guy would easily be Chivalry, Chain Lightning, and Mind's Eye, or Chivalry, Chain Lightning, and Endure, or something like that. Yeah, Endure would probably be the best. Let's see, when attacking if unit HP is above 80%. Yeah, so you can run, you have a couple other choices on your 1-cost move. But yeah, that would be the setup for him. If you have Altamuller, it would be Chivalry, Chain Lightning, and then whatever 1-cost passive or move you want. That's if you have Altamuller. If you do not have Altamuller, then it should probably look something like Ace Tactics. If you go 1 path, Chivalry, and a 1-cost move. Or if you do open up the Ruin paths on him, then Ace Tactics, Chain Lightning, and then a 1-cost move. So just because I feel like Chain Lightning is definitely worth it. But I highly recommend for rune investment, if you guys have Altamuller, invest your runes in your Altamuller before you invested in this guy. I feel like this guy is not, he is worth the investment, but not as much as somebody has like Altamuller. Like Altamuller, you can make him a very strong flying tank, and you don't have to offset your units. Like I said, there's a problem with this Ace Tactics thing, which I'll go over in a second here, but let's go ahead and take the look at his talent here. Now, the talent's not too bad. All allies within 2 blocks have their stats increased by 5%. That's excluding HP. This effect doesn't stack with commands. The 5% is really nice. If you put him next to Leon, it's just going to increase Leon's stats. And then if you're running his strategic master buff, he's going to get 15% extra damage anyways. So that makes it up to a nice little boost there, especially if you buddy him up with Leon, Altamuller, or anybody else in the strategic master section there. So decent talent here. I could see it being very good, especially when you get him up the higher stars, but he's definitely not worth trying to go for dupes. Don't go for dupes, guys. If you get dupes of Listo, super worth it, but him, I don't see it. I really don't see it. Alright, so what I'm currently running right now, because you have all these moves here, I'm not running Javelin. Javelin is really good though. It's pretty much a ranged move, so it does the same move that Matthew does, where you can attack somebody from a distance. And even if you have melee soldiers, they can also attack too, which is pretty cool. So you could run a setup like this, and if you do not have a strategic master buffer and he's your strategic master buffer, you could do something like that just to give yourself a little bit more range. Damage dealt is increased by 20% after up to 60%. That's with every block move, guys. So you want to move him a lot before you hit with Javelin, which is very good. But there's a problem with that, which I'm going to go over everyone. The problem I see with this guy is really in the soldier section combined with his strategic master buff, if I'm being honest with you guys. Alright, so this is my current setup right now, and I might switch over this Endure for Blast. When attacking, if unit HP is above 80%, damage taken is reduced by 30% during battle. So I might switch over for that. Now, where does his problem lie with the ace tactics? It's the units, his soldiers. They are terrible. Like, they are good, but they are terrible, right? So when you run him as a knight, as a royal knight here, right? Nightmaster, what is it called? As a Nightmaster. When you run him as a Nightmaster, you're like, yes, I got another mobile unit like Leon. It's gonna be fantastic. And then they slap you in the face by giving him these units, and you're just like, what am I supposed to do here, especially if I'm running his strategic master buff? Because you got to think about it this way. You need to offset your unit. You got to make sure your hero and your soldier are different colors, because if they're not, you're not going to get your damage dealt increased by 15%, which is terrible because he really relies on that. So you're forced to run something like the Berserker, which I have no problem with the Berserker. I think the Berserker is a very good unit and very strong unit. Crit increased by 18%, attack increased by 9%. So very good unit, especially when you give him his chain lightning. The problem I have with Berserker is their mobility. This shoots down your mobility tremendously. You go from a highly mobile unit to a unit that just can move 3 blocks. So he's just another Elwyn, which is very bad. If I'm being honest with you guys, it's extremely bad. Just because, you know, you want to get across the board. You want to stay close to your other units just so that way you can give them their buffs and stuff. But the problem is, like I said, he's running Berserker is going to hinder that mobility. And then you could go ahead and run Heaven's Guard, which I think is his best unit. My opinion, guys, is Heaven's Guard is his best unit. And I know other people will disagree with that, and I know other people will say, well, this unit and that unit and this unit. I think Heaven's Guard is his best unit. I think if you run him as Sword Saint, have him red, then you need to unlock the Heaven's Guard, just because you'll have a red blue, and then his strategic master buff becomes very solid, very strong. And also he won't have the best mobility, but then I feel like he'll have a better damage, if I'm gonna say. Soldier attack increased by 8% with each block pass before attacking, 24% at most, and that's just gonna increase just like the Berserkers. So try to understand his units a little bit more. They're very difficult. I know let's see, the Amazon champion is very good too. When attacking, attack increases by 10%, 30% chance to reduce enemies defense by 20%, lasts 1 turn. This is good. They suffer from that mobility problem though, which is okay depending on how you can play them. And then the Griffin Knight, when soldier HP is above 80%, attack and defense increased by 10%. I think these are very good for him too. Now, if you want to keep his mobility, but you want to make sure he's offset so that way his strategic master buff is good to go. This buff is good to go. Then running him with the Griffin Knights or the Berserkers is mandatory when you have him as the Royal Knight or Nightmaster, my bad, or the Amazon champion here, right? Just do know, guys, Amazon Champion is unlocked in the training field. Griffin Knight does take a little bit more work because you have to class up here, which I'll probably do before I go into the showcase. Depending, I don't know. I don't really want to waste any more resources on this guy. And then let's go into equipment here. Alright, so with this guy, it's a pretty straightforward build. It's just mainly attack. You want to focus on high attack on this guy. I mean, his attack stat is not too bad. He does have an S rating on his tag and A on his HP, which is very good, just because it's just going to let him dish out more damage, especially if you don't offset him. If you don't offset him, and you just have him run straight units here, right? Like if you have him run the Heaven's Guard, and you don't have him run the Berserkers, then he's going to be a straight unit, so he's going to be blue. Now, the good thing about blue, running him has a blue and blue, and then say you got Sephiroth's Strategic Master buff, what's going to happen is Leon is running the Flyers, so Leon's not pure blue, so he'll actually do a lot more damage to a red unit than Leon, just because he has his soldiers that are blue and himself is blue. So something to think about. And then same thing goes for red. If you run him as Sword Saint and then put on the Berserkers, he's going to be a red unit, and then have Altamuller run his Strategic Master buff. It's going to give him a nice skill of mobility with the Strategic Master buff from Altamuller. But also when he hits a green, that green is going to suffer, and I mean suffer. So something to think about when you're building this guy, guys. Alright, so I got the Mithril Sword. That's going to give me attack plus 8%. I just threw it on him just because I feel like really want to focus on attack here. I got some nice stats here. Obviously, I went with Full Moon, but we'll talk about that in a second here. Attack plus 5%, HP 7%, and magic defense 2%. Focusing on HP and attack, guys. Then I got HP armor here, which is okay, nothing too crazy here. Attack plus 4%, defense plus 4%. So if I can change that to attack and HP, that'd be pretty nice too. Let's see here. Ania's helmet, HP plus 4%, defense plus 2%, attack plus 2%, HP plus 4%. So definitely got to re-roll that stat, try to get a higher attack stat here. But other than that, the True Grit, which HP 4%, defense 2%, is really nice because it's just going to give him a little bit more self-sustainability because he kind of needs it a little bit. And then we got the Assault Ring. Now I was going to go with something else, but got to give him a little bit of magic defense. So I got 3% here, but the attack stat is really nice at attack plus 3%. Defense 3% and attack 3%. I can get that to level 40, guys, but I'm running into that hammer problem. Look at this. Yeah, see that? Man, hammer problems, guys. Alright, it's kind of a nightmare too, because if I use all these hammers, take a look at this. If I use all these hammers, I get to level 38, but look at that, 200,000 gold. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Anyways, so that's my current setup here. Now with the enchantments, now you could go with I went with Full Moon. Full Moon is not too bad. It's just kind of your base increase, attacking in plus 5%. When HP is above 80%, all offensive and defensive stats increase by 10%. So it's kind of a base growth there. If you're going to be a little bit more aggressive with him, then something like Rough Sea is not too bad either. When attacking, attack increases by 10% and damage taken is reduced by 15%. So Rough Sea I feel like is not bad either, especially if you're going to be a lot more aggressive with him. But usually with this guy you want to play very passive, so running Full Moon is not too bad. Now I do know Meteor and I believe Blazing Sun did get stat increases from the last update, so something to think about if you do want to run this too. Blazing Sun is not too bad. The crit damage is really nice, but I really wouldn't go for it right now. Now if you are running crit build on him, which you can do just to try to proc off his other little moves, which I'll go over in a second here again, then Blazing Sun or Meteor is not bad. When attacking troops with HP above 60%, all damage dealt after entering battle plus 20%. So Meteor is not bad at all, and you're going to get that crit plus 7%, guys. So don't count Meteor out or Blazing Sun. They are very well too. So I'd say my opinion would be go with either Rough Sea, Full Moon, or Meteor, right? Those are my three choices for this guy. And like I said, I'll go over it one more time here. The reason why you want to crit is because of I think it's in the Sword Saint here. It's gonna be this move. This is why you want to crit, because deals fixed damage before the unit attacks. When landing a critical hit, the skill deals fixed damage again. So you want to make sure this guy really hits those crits, especially if you're going to hit with chain lightning, because you really want to try to kill the opponent when you hit chain lightning here. Alright guys, so build for this guy really depends on the team you've got, right? So for instance, I have Altamuller, but he is not running his fusion power just yet. As soon as I get one more rune, guys, let me go to it right now. As soon as I get one more rune, I'm taking this guy down the Grand Marshal. I'm picking up his Strategic Master buff and then bringing him back to the Dragon Master. I want to keep him as a Dragon Master. Once that happens, then with my LANFORD, what's going to happen is I'm actually going to take him down the Sword Saint route, pick up the Chain Lightning. I might just keep him there so that way he becomes my red Strategic Master killer, or I might bring him back to the Nightmaster. Now, if you do have Leon, I kind of recommend looking at the current builds here. If you have Leon, right guys, then I do recommend, if you don't have the Strategic Master buff from Altamuller obviously, then I do recommend going still to the Nightmaster, pick up the Strategic Master buff, then take the Rune investment and go into Sword Saint route and keep him there if you have Leon. If you do not have Leon, you can easily keep him the Nightmaster and then forget about the Rune investment. Do note that the Chain Lightning is his best move and it's really going to make him shine. So that's why I'm not really butchering him too much, because I do not have his best move. I think he has a lot of potential. Now this guy is extremely hard to manage around, so you got to be very smart when you're building your team, because his buff is good, but like I said, it could be thrown right out the window if you're not smart on how to maneuver your teams around and stuff like that. Anyways guys, if you are building your LANFORD any other way, please comment down below and let me know. Other than that guys, let's go ahead and get into the showcase. Alright guys, we're in the showcase here. This is a time rift that we're going to be doing. Alright, so we got our 3 teams over here, which is going to be Listo, Lana, and Bozo, which I know is kind of awkward. And then we got over here, which is Leon, LANFORD, and Liana here. Now, do note guys that like I said, the problem with LANFORD and his Strategic Master buff is if you're running Leon, you're a-okay, because he's going to be running units that are cross units, right? But if you're running any other Strategic Master, for instance like Altamuller, you kind of get screwed because he's a flyer, so he's not really going to benefit from the buff. And even if you change his units here, you got to make sure you open up his Grand Marshal path, or you can't even change his units. So he gets hurt from the buff. Same thing with Varg. Let's look at Varg here. Varg, you're always going to want to probably run green. So that's another thing where it's like, nah, man, I don't really want to run Orcs on Varg. I want him to be that pure tank. So that's the problem with his Strategic Master buff. Now, played right, it can be very strong, but for now, I just feel like it's just not worth all that investment. I do believe that opening up his Sword Saint Ralph is worth it, but use the Rune investment on Altamuller if you have him. His Strategic Master buff, I feel like, is a lot more stable and it's a lot better. Anyways, let's get started here. Alright, let me skip this. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys here. Alright, I do have a little thing right there, so I think I'm going to send Listel that way. Go pick it up. Can you reach? No, you can't reach. Gotta be careful because these guys will like mess me up. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Nothing. You guys are terrible. We'll do that. Okay. Now I do run him. I am running the Heaven's Guard, so I could go ahead and go right here, use Chivalry, run up to this guy here and hit him with a nice extra damage from the Heaven's Guard and stuff like that. And I don't know if it'll take him down, but it will do quite good damage. So but let's see here. Now the only problem I see with that is going to be that blue is going to be a nuisance. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Activate Chivalry, hit that red unit. I know the smart way would be 11,000, nothing too crazy there. Another smart way would probably been use the Strategic Master buff and then have Leon come in and annihilate everybody, but Actually, if we go 1, 2, you know, let's rewind that, guys. I have an idea. I just got a better idea. Ah, but Leon won't reach. I think we'll still be fine though. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. We're gonna have Liana act against him. Okay. There we go. So now he's got the strategic master buff, but he's not gonna benefit from it just because he doesn't have offset units. He is just gonna benefit from the buff itself, which is really good, but other than that, it's not gonna do too much, right? He's not gonna get that extra 15% increase in damage. So you should see about a little bit more than what he just did. So I think he did 11,000 last time, so you'll probably see around that same amount, if I'm being honest with you guys. See, I could go and attack that unit. See, that's another thing too. I mean, just look at that level of mobility, right? I can go all the way over here and attack this guy over here, right? And the beautiful part about that is that, you know, that I have that mobility. If I'm running the berserkers, that's screwed. I'm not gonna reach that high, right? So something to think about with this guy, guys. All right, so he did 12,000, so a little bit more. It would have been a lot more if I had it across units there, but then yeah, think about it. Would it have been really a lot more just because that was a red unit, right? So being a red unit, if I would have had cross units, it probably would have been the same amount. So something to think about, guys. See that? Now I know the Dark Reincarnation team is almost a pure PvP team, but I don't give a shit what people say, and I'm gonna run the team because I want to run the team. All right, here we go. Targeto. I'm trying to get Lista to grab that thing there. I know she'll be able to skate across the water because she's a flyer. So I'm telling you guys that Lista is a fantastic effing unit. Wait, hold on. Damn it, Bozo. Yeah, hit him with Earthquake. Then Lana disabled their mobility. I think he still might be able to reach me though. Even if I do that. We'll do it anyways. We'll see what's up. If I have to rewind, I'll rewind. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's the danger zone. No, I can't sing. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll do that. Oh, that dude was able to reach my Bozo, you bastard. So that other dude is definitely gonna reach. Yeah, figured that. Alright. That's fine. You played yourself. Targeto. Okay, Bozo, you can start moving up, my boy. I probably should have Bozo go after the banner over there. Being that when Listo gets hit, she heals the team. Yeah. Damn it, this better be worth it. Wow, that was not worth it. That was not worth it at all. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and hit a little heal here. Now my Leon can move back. I'm afraid of that archer. That archer can do some work here. Alright, so. Should we bait? We should probably bait, right? Just gotta jabait him. Alright. We'll jabait him. Or he's just gonna retreat like a little. Alright. You been debated, boy. What are you doing? Don't. Let's still handle that. No, I am running into a little problem here though. With my health right now. If I'm being honest with you guys. I do got the strategic master buff. She does have act again. This enemy is gonna be a nuisance though, so we do have to watch out for that. Let's go ahead and activate the buff. Have Leon absolutely annihilate this person. Then move him back. Then we're gonna have our boy LANFORD shine here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. He's gonna get that 60%. Boom, and hit him. There we go. See, this is where Ultimuller's strategic master buff would be a lot better, just because he'll be able to not yet. He'll be able to keep the buff going all the way around, meaning that well, and he got bats too. Meaning that it doesn't matter, it's just a terrain thing, and that's so easy to manage. So alright, hit him with that black hole. Alright, this guy's on his way. We're gonna one-shot him in a second. We'll one-shot him in a second. Let's continue what we're doing over here. Huh? Jokai. I did switch over to the Japanese voices, as you can see. I was kind of sick of using Listel and now LANFORD, and they both don't have their voices. So, Langrisser team, you need to hop on that. I really like to hear my voices. Leon, one-shot this dude. Thank you, Leon. Are you serious? I was about to say, yo, put another enemy in my face. Watch what's gonna happen. They don't know. All right, we'll do Shiza. Shiza. We'll do that. All right. And then we'll do this. All right. Nice. She jumped in front. Let's go. Let's go. And she's gonna start healing up. Yeah. Let's go. All right. Gotta make some plays. Gotta make some plays here. Listel's in the battle. Damn, she's not gonna reach both of them though. She's gonna reach her though. That should kill. Oh no, 529 damage. What? Oh! Gotta love her, dude. Gotta love her. She's freaking amazing. Alright, that should kill. No, because she's missing some of her units, but she did heal up a bit there, which is great. I think LANFORD is in trouble here, if I'm being honest with you guys. Let's go and activate the strategic master buff and then hit. We're not gonna hit prayer just yet. There we go. Oh, 90? Really, bro? Really? Okay. I was about to say, like, there we go, yeah. Do note, though, on a fair note, my Bozell is really weak, if I'm being honest with you guys. He is not, like, I really have to get with that dude, and since he's becoming clearly one of my favorite units, I do have to start kind of showing him some appreciation. Alright. Let's make sure we can, never mind. We have a couple turns. We have a couple turns here. There we go. Sorry about the noise, guys. If you guys hear any noises in the background. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Heal up. Let's go. Keep the mobility. So all in all, I'd say LANFORD is a good unit, solid unit. Definitely not one of my favorites, and I really wish somebody had a mindset like me that did a YouTube video out there on him, because seeing him in play and seeing that he really needs the runes to shine, I don't know. I would not go as hard for him as I did with Zoraida. Like I said, I feel like he's a phenomenal unit, and he has lots of potential, but I feel, my opinion, I feel like Listel does outweigh him. Alright, we're not going to get that full heal just yet, so let's say okay. We're getting close, we're getting close. The whole team is together. Now I believe, if I'm correct, hold on, if I'm correct, he did just buff them. Yeah, he did. Alright, see, all stats plus 5%, so. Alright, I really want to get Listel in the middle of them and hit her blood dance. That would be awesome. Alright. I can reach with Leon here, and I think I can reach with LANFORD, but that's death right there with those two greens. Even if I was running Berserkers, it'd still kind of screw me over because I wouldn't even be able to reach him, even with Chivalry. That's how much his mobility just gets shot down. Because if I was running Berserkers, I'll be able to move 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 right there. And then if I activate Chivalry, I'll do 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3 right there. So I would be 1 block away from hitting them, which is freaking terrible. Leon can move in. We're gonna wait. We're gonna stall turn. We'll activate the Strategic Master buff, and then we'll just chill. He's gonna give the buff again, right? Because it's every 2 blocks away. So now when Listel moves in there, her stats are increased. Is she gonna reach all of them? Oh, she is. Beautiful. Take the damage. Boom. Beautiful. Right. Now we can come in. Yeah, we'll have our boy come in here. Attack the mage. Oh, he's running greens. That's not gonna be fun. Yeah, I was about to say, that is not going to be fun at all. Alright, can we hit Earthquake here? Oh my god, we can't reach. LANFORD is about to die. LANFORD is about to die. No. It's up to you, Lana. You are our hope. Okay, a little bit more. Now you're our hope. Now Black Hole is definitely not gonna kill. Oh man, it got sure as hell super close though. Alright, Leon should be able to hit one of these and take down one of these dudes here. I'm a dude, you're a dude. Alright. Let's go and just kinda trap this dude here so he has to force attack one of us. Of course you're gonna activate guard. Tell me this guy's gonna activate guard too. Oh, look at that. Let's go. Yes. freaking telling you guys. If you pull a list on the new banner, you can stop. If I'm being real with you guys. Because she is just that good. She's not going to do much melee damage, but, I mean, 5,000, right? And she healed up the squad. Man, alright. Anyways, guys, that was my guide slash showcase on LANFORD. It's a solid unit, but he does require a little bit of rune investment, guys. So do understand that if you are going to be using him. So make sure you invest the time into the boy. And like I said, if you have Altamuller, invest your runes in him first and use his strategic master buff over LANFORD's, because LANFORD's strategic master buff is good, but it's nowhere near as good as Altamuller's. Now that I'm looking at it, now that I've used it and I've played around with it, I can honestly say that. And you know, that's one thing about me, guys, is you guys know that I hate doing character guides on units I don't have, because I like to physically use them. I like to see what they're about, and then I like to approach it in a mindset like, hey, I don't have the runes, I don't have Altamuller, but I need a fusion power buffer. Okay, I'm going to take him down the strategic master route buff. Okay, then, if that's the case, then do note, guys, you're going to have to suffer a little bit from mobility, but he does bring the versatility to the table with that, because if I would have ran him in that blue and red, like if I would have put the berserkers on here at that very end moment there, he would have obliterated everybody in that path there, because his berserkers are red, so that would have brung a nice little thing to the table. So he is a solid unit. You just got to use your brain when you use him. Just because it's funny that I say that, because he is the strategic master buffer, so you got to have some strategy with him. Anyways, guys, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Go down there, smash that red button, guys. We are almost back at our 1,000 subscribers. Let's get there, guys. I'm saying by mid-May, we should already be there, hopefully earlier than that. But other than that, guys, remember, always, always stay positive. Peace out.